Snorrie.
De enige echte.
Jezus, man, dat is lang geleden. Hoe kan het
30 jaar, 5 maanden, 3 weken en 2 dagen geleden. Ongeveer.
Ja. Ja, jeetje, ja.
Je hebt mij waarschijnlijk gemist.
I loved the very deadpan and straightforward approach to meeting our fantastical imagined childhood friends. I loved the humor in this reuniting, the unease, the apprehension and disbelief, and also allowing our imaginary friends to have some autonomy and feelings on being left to the wayside. I thought that the delivery of all the actors helped ground the humor of the piece and made it feel authentic, and there was just a lot of believability in the world building. Despite just the humorous concept, I thought it also touched on some really deep nostalgic childhood themes, and ruminations on returning to your childhood home, how that kind of washes over you the minute you step into your childhood room, the desire for comfort in why we actually created these imaginary friends in the first place. There must have been something lacking in our real world, either if it's magic or a friend to talk to, or too much time on our lonesome. And it was just interesting to see the use of these friends, and what
so I just watched Snorrie, and I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I thought it was really smartly done. They just had a way of presenting it at a really good pace, just revealing the story. I love the way they found humor in the honesty, and really the performances were just spectacular. Writing was great all around. Just a solid film, worth checking out. Snorrie.
This was delightful. I really enjoyed this movie. I loved the idea of an adult talking to their imaginary friends in their adult life. So brilliant, so well written, so beautifully shot. Not a lot of crazy, like, extraneous stuff, just a really straightforward room with 3 very gifted actors. Actually, that guy that came in later to talk about the other thing, he was great too. But these 3 actors in particular, the 2 imaginary friends and the gentleman who lost his mom and whose dad has dementia, just really incredibly good job. Everybody just really committed to this storytelling in a way that was really outstanding. I loved the editing. I thought the lighting was really cool. Beautiful, beautiful lighting. Really well done there. And just all in all, a really, really great job. Congratulations. Loved this. Loved it.
It was definitely unique. And I was definitely intrigued. Like, it was definitely like, you definitely had me asking questions and wanting to know more about this character and these, like, imaginary characters and whether they're there or not, and trying to figure out these headspaces and where, like, these characters are coming from. So that was cool. The acting was dope. He definitely hit that 1 tier, which it hit all the feels. So that was dope. The cinematography was intentional, and the production design was intentional, and I like that. So good job.
Snorrie was such a great concept. The story was amazing. It's so unique, and I've never seen anything like that, where someone is confronted by their imaginary friend from their childhood, and they did it in such a heartfelt and dramatic way that it was something that you really consider as a thing that people go through, which it could be. I personally don't know. I don't have an imaginary friend that I remember. But this was really great. I love that they had the confrontation, and then it became this kind of argument thing. But at the end, it was just this realization of what the main character is going through and his life. And even after the 30-some years that he didn't have his imaginary friend, he still was able to sit down with him and comfort him in some way, and really resonate with him through that new scenario. So yeah, honestly, I feel like that was just such a great story. It was so unique. I really, really enjoyed it. I could watch a full-length movie about that if I really wanted to, or if I could. And then the production value itself was so cool. I love the set that they were in. It really did give that homey vibe, and yet kind of cold, to parallel the emotions that were really happening right there. So really great job
This
overall.
film, I thought, was a really beautiful kind of allegory of what it's like to grow up and still be have your inner child within you, but be in a position where now you're the adult and you're having to take care of your parent or whoever it is, but that there's still a vulnerability within you in dealing with all of the emotions that come up about that. And the writing, I thought, was really beautiful about the way that it was kind of a delayed reveal of what was actually happening, or it seems like this is happening in a room, but actually, maybe it's happening in this person's mind or in this person's heart, that these like memories are kind of unfolding. The costumes, I thought, were so great and so beautiful, and just being a short film, kind of a bottle episode of like one location, I thought it also could function beautifully as a scene or a play, a live performance as well. And I got that feeling of liveness and immediacy from the writing and the way that the actors were so responsive to one another, and there was a sense of spontaneity to the conversation, and we weren't sure where it was going to go. So I think a beautiful allegory of what it's like to be an adult, but dealing with all the feelings of your inner child.
I thought Snorri was just so cleverly done. It was sad, for me it was a sad, dramatic short film, and I love just the creativity of it. I think oftentimes when we're faced with overwhelming problems, like the main character in Snorri, his father has dementia and his mother has passed away. He faces these problems with his imaginary friend. And so in the short film, you see him having a conversation with his imaginary friend. And I don't know, I just thought that was just so wonderful. There was something so tender and vulnerable about it, but just the creativity aspect of it, I think, something I would have never thought of. And there was something symbolic in that too, where it felt full circle, because oftentimes, I think too in this short film, that imaginary friend has known the main character, the main character has had that imaginary friend since childhood, and now here is the main character now having to take care of his parent, who in a way is like a child. He has dementia, so he has to be taken care of with the same kind of care and tenderness that you would take care of a child. But there was something so sweet about the fact that the main character still leans on his imaginary friend for that kind of emotional support, or that non-judgmental, open-hearted support. Yeah, I thought it was just so well done. I would have never thought of telling that story with that vehicle of the imaginary friend.